Carnage on Britain's roads.
They've just had a road traffic collision.
Danger around every corner.
There are significant injuries. There's patient breathing.
Motorcyclist versus car. He was hit from behind.
Every 16 minutes, someone is killed or injured.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Look at me.
When you get behind the wheel,
Hello, Mick 53.
your life is in your hands.
Can I put a trauma alert to Rhesus coming by air?
And if things go wrong,
Steady, lift.
elite trauma teams pick up the pieces. University Hospital Coventry tackles some of the most extreme cases in the country.
What's happened?
You're in hospital.
Last thing I can see was a tractor and I ploughed into it.
I don't remember what happened.
Her car's ended up on its roof.
From crash scene
Where's it hurting?
Oh, down my side.
to A&E,
Until we get a CT scan, I need you to stay nice and still.
Patients can die from this.
and emergency surgery.
This may not be a reconstructible injury. She could lose her hand.
If we can't stop him bleeding, he won't survive. I honestly thought he was dying.
We follow the medics battling to save the lives of casualties.
Oh, my life!
Injured on Britain's deadly roads.
You never think it's going to be your kids.
Tonight,
He's not breathing.
a battle to save a grandfather's life.
Push down hard and fast. Push, 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 push.
A pedestrian's decision leads to disaster.
You're okay, you're okay. Stay with me.
A young motorcyclist's crash leaves doctors fearing the worst.
He's breathing, but he looks like he's in an awful lot of pain.
What's going on?
2 miles away from University Hospital Coventry.
Ambulance services, the patient breathing. Hang on, we're just trying to get him out of the car. Is he breathing? No, he's not breathing.
Road traffic alert.
Oh, there's a child in the back.
We'll give you an ETA en route. Jenny!
Unconscious male. Not breathing.
An ETA of 8 minutes over.
Vehicles dispatched. 2 ambulances. Fire service and Helimed road crew.
So what is it, an RTC cardiac arrest?
RTC cardiac arrest.
Pedestrian or a car?
Didn't say.
Is he conscious? Okay, we can't find a pulse, but he's got a very safe pulse. Is he conscious? Is he conscious? No, he's not conscious, no. Unconscious, not breathing.
Medic 53 arriving on scene.
The patient is 76-year-old Martin.
Hi guys.
He had a cardiac arrest at the wheel of his car.
Who's running at the moment?
How long ago was he found? It was roughly about 10 minutes ago. We witnessed a crash of his cars.
A member of the public started CPR on the scene. Meanwhile, the local fire station team were alerted. They continued chest compressions.
Do you want to restart CPR? He's in VF. He needs another shock.
VF, ventricular fibrillation.
Do you mind if I charge the defib?
Yep.
One of the most dangerous heart rhythms.
That's right, stand back. He's shocking now, hands off.
Watch your leg.
Martin is in a critical state. His heart is not pumping blood at all.
See if we can get IV access.
The emergency services are urgently working on treatment that may get Martin's heart beating again.
What we're going to do, I'm going to pull him forward, shove this underneath, yeah?
Yeah.
You got the...
On you, we're just going to lift his head forward, so keep hold of that LMA.
Okay.
Just come off the chest.
The Lucas machine will now take over the task of chest compressions, freeing up the emergency crew.
Thank you for that. We've got incline of 3.4.
I've not got a pulse at the moment.
The crew now focus on other life-saving interventions.
All right, do you want to charge and shock?
Shock him.
So that's shock 4.
I'm going to get someone in 100,000 adrenaline, Naveed.
It's been going about a minute since the last 4th shock. Keep him covered because he's going to get cold pretty quick, isn't he?
The situation is dire.
Right, if you give a gentle roll.
A new set of pads are applied in different positions on Martin's chest to try and shock Martin's heart into a normal rhythm.
Shock him.
Martin's grandson was in the back of the car during the incident.
Ben, How old's the child?
2.5.
Oh, so not aware of what's gone on.
The toddler was retrieved from the car unharmed. He's being looked after by his family.
He's doing agonal breathing, but I can't feel a pulse.
Okay, 4 milligrams.
I can only feel a very weak one.
Finally, they detect a pulse.
Seems to be getting
Right. Right, let's get the blood pressure SAT probe, get him on the scoop.
A cardiac arrest is the most serious job that we can go to. The heart has stopped and the patient is not breathing. These people need immediate CPR. A cardiac arrest can happen at any time without any warning. If that happens to you and you're driving a car, then obviously the risk to yourself and everyone else is massively increased.
What happens when you have a medical emergency at the wheel? It takes seconds of having a medical incident, such as a heart attack, seizure, stroke, or falling asleep behind the wheel of a vehicle, to cause a catastrophic accident. The consequences can be devastating for driver and for other road users. Thankfully, it's rare. The team are supporting Martin's breathing with ventilation. Following the defibrillator shocks and various drugs, his heart is beating again.
Hello, Risa.
Now the teams need to get Martin to hospital for urgent care.
We'll be with you in about 5 minutes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Every minute counts to give Martin the best chance of survival. Coming up, Martin's life hangs in the balance.
He's critical.
A pedestrian's day is shattered in a glance, and an unexpected turn for a young motorcyclist.
What's going on?
Great British roads. Every 16 minutes, death or serious injury. For some survivors, it's a long road to recovery.
Is he conscious?
We can't find a pulse.
Is he conscious?
No, he's not conscious, no.
76-year-old Martin. Cardiac arrest at wheel of car. Unable to breathe for himself.
There is Martin, and that's his wife, Wendy.
This is Martin. He's, we think, 76. At 0906 999 call time for a witnessed apparent collapse behind the wheel. He's had a total of 5 shocks. ROSC after the 5th shock at 0931. Drugs wise, he's had 2 adrenaline, amiodarone 300 plus 150. When he was removed from the vehicle, CPR was started then. I don't know the exact time of first crew arrival.
Right, okay, but he did have bystander CPR.
He did have bystander CPR, well, fire crew CPR.
Right, okay.
Martin's daughter Tracy was at work when she received the dreaded phone call about her father and 2-year-old son.
There's our line hooked up.
Have you got Wendy?
Yeah, Wendy and Tracy's in there now as well.
Thank you.
With Martin handed over to the care of the hospital, the Helimed paramedic checks in on the family.
I've met your mum already. I'm Jenny. Hello. So Martin's still the same. His heart hasn't stopped again. It's continued beating. And at the moment, he's critical. It's kind of minute by minute at the moment. We'll have to see what happens, okay? It's going to be at least half an hour, probably more, before any of the doctors come and speak to you, because there's a lot of things they need to do for Martin just now.
Can't stop shaking.
That's okay. It's a big shock, isn't it?
We're taking things really literally minute by minute at this stage. Things are really unpredictable. We're just putting him to sleep at the moment, so this is a fairly critical point for us. It's not brilliant, is it? It's not great, is it?
Not huge, is it?
We need a bigger vein, No, this is no good.
To administer life-saving drugs and fluids, they need to locate a vein. But it's proving difficult.
We've got one for the adrenaline, we've got one for drugs. We can also give it via the adrenaline as well.
So we've got 2 access, which is the minimum, but they're both not in an ideal position. They're relatively narrow lines, and they're on the hand, so a long way from the heart.
It's been almost 2 hours since Martin's cardiac arrest. Without access to a good vein, his fate hangs in the balance.
Hello, can I have an ambulance, please?
Yeah, is the patient breathing?
Yes, yes. There's a pedestrian, I think, has gone out into the road chasing a dog and has been hit by a car. You're okay, you're okay, look, you're okay. Stay with me, look at me. Help's on the way.
New patient incoming. 28-year-old female. Hit by car. 8.5 miles away from University Hospital, Coventry.
From the way it was described, she's hit by a car, floated up in the air, hit the bonnet and the windscreen, bullseyed the windscreen. So it's quite a significant mechanism.
It's time critical for the patient to be treated.
Sorry, I know that seems a bit tight with me.
28-year-old Jade has been brought in with her fiancé, Richard.
At the moment, we're just worried that she had a bleed in the brain or a fractured skull, and that could cause problems later on. Alright, Jade, we're going to take her out for your scan now, okay? So we'll make sure there's no spinal injuries.
What happens when a pedestrian gets hit by a car? First, the bumper strikes the lower leg region. The body can then somersault onto the hood, making the head smash onto the windscreen with immense impact, causing a circular crack radiating out. This is referred to as a bullseye. Pedestrians are one of the most vulnerable road users. People can sustain lifelong injuries, such as blunt head trauma and spinal injury from such force.
She's been thrown onto the floor, she landed on a hard surface, and that can cause catastrophic injuries. One of the things we're worried about is her spine. Worst case scenario could lead to paralysis, which is why I've taken her to a scanner as soon as possible. The scan she's getting done now is a full trauma scan, so she gets everything scanned from the head right down to her pelvis. Any injuries that she may have will show up on the scan, and then we can treat them accordingly if we find anything.
Hi. How are you? That's so good, yeah?
28-year-old Jade was dog walking with her sister when she was hit by a car.
Ready, steady, slow.
Road traffic injuries are the leading cause of death in children and young adults.
She's anxious, she's worried. We do get quite a few people who get hit by cars, by bikes. We get mostly a lot of children come in hit by cars. After school, they're crossing the road, not paying attention, taking little kids, they get hit by a car. Even getting a bicycle on the road, be careful. You see some horrific injuries.
Doctors need to have a full report of the scan images. It will be an anxious wait for Jade.
We need a bigger access closer to the heart.
76-year-old Martin had a cardiac arrest this morning at the wheel of his car, shortly after setting off from his home.
Ambulance service, is the patient breathing? We're just trying to get him out of the car. Is he breathing? No, he's not breathing.
The team are fighting to save his life, but it's been a struggle to find a vein.
You have control? You got your left hand?
Yeah, got it.
It looks in the screen, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and trace it a bit.
Yeah. We've now secured a good size intravenous access. One of the places we can look is the neck. With a bit of head down, the neck veins fill.
With a good vein accessed, Martin will now be taken for a CT scan.
Excellent, they can use that for CT as well.
So he's going to have contrast and dye which would circulate through his lungs, and it's quite important to have a certain size of cannula, hence why we ended up inserting the cannula in his neck, because we wanted to be sure that going to CT scan we would get as optimal pictures as possible for the radiologist to be able to interpret and give us a better idea of what might be happening.
Things can change really quickly when you've had a cardiac arrest, and so it's been quite stable until now, and then we were just about to go to CT and the heart rhythm changed to one that's much more potentially dangerous.
With Martin's heart steady again, the team can progress.
We come to the CT scanner to do a scan of his head as well as of his chest to look, see if there's any bleeding in his brain or any blood clot in his lung. So those are the two main things we want to consider and rule out at this point. How much longer for the scan?
No, look at that.
Done. Cool. The other thing that we've noted since he's been to and from CT is having funny rhythms. The green line at the top, so that's his heart rhythm. So it's basically keeps going in and out of different rhythms, which is a bit concerning.
Martin's heart is unstable.
I think the biggest risks to him are the underlying cause of the cardiac arrest. I think this is probably a heart issue and a rhythm issue with his heart. That by definition is highly unpredictable. So that can change literally minute to minute.
Have you seen him yet?
No.
His family can see him now for the first time since the accident.
Lower him down a bit, you can hold his hand, talk to him like normal, okay?
Martin will now be admitted to the intensive care unit for close monitoring and further investigations. Motorcyclists, one of the most vulnerable road users. An average of 6 per week die on Britain's roads. New patient incoming. 18-year-old motorcyclist.
Is the patient breathing?
He's breathing, but he looks like he's in an awful lot of pain.
Collided with a static lorry.
There's a nurse with him, keeping him still, taking his back. He seems to have pain in his leg. So we'll be there as quick as we can.
Injuries, complaining of some pain in the right side of his groin. The pain score is 8 out of 10. He's got a pelvic binder on.
Hello there, Stephen. My name's Richard. Nice to meet you.
What's going on?
What happens to our bodies when a person slams into a stationary vehicle? In the 200 milliseconds of a crash, depending on the impact, people can break collarbones, the rib cage, then the chest loses its structure and impacts on the lungs.
I just need to cut your top off and put some routine monitoring on. So Stephen was travelling along on his motorbike and he's collided with a static lorry. He was complaining of pelvic pain, so we suspect a pelvic injury.
This is my work teacher.
That's okay, we can get a new one. That's all. Okay.
It's just... That hurts? Yeah.
So Stephen, I'm just going to take some blood from you and pop a little cannula in. So there's going to be a sharp scratch and a bit of pressure then, okay? So this is going to go around your body, okay, Stephen? Arms up in a minute. That's it, you can pop them back down for me.
Take your temperature now, alright.
Where were you going?
I was going to work and I looked down for like 2 seconds. Next thing I know, I'm in the back of the lorry on the floor.
So Stephen, we're going to take you out for the CT scan now. Okay, ready, steady, slide.
18-year-old Stephen was on his way to his new job when his parents received an unexpected phone call.
We were sat finishing breakfast and my phone rang and there's a number I didn't recognise. Answered it and she said, nothing to worry about, but I'm sat with your son. He's come off his motorbike. And we went out to meet him at the side of the road and they'd shut that road because he was led in the middle of the road. The police were there by the time we got there and we were waiting for the ambulance.
It's an agonising wait for Stephen and his parents. Coming up, in the critical care unit, Martin holds on for dear life.
In effect, he's just suffered a brain injury. His brain has been starved of oxygen.
Stephen's injuries leave him facing a difficult outcome.
Can you lift this leg off the bed? Lift it
Yeah.
And for Jade,
I was going out. You just don't know what's going to happen in a day.
it's a reality check. Great British Roads. 328 billion miles travelled annually. 62% of casualties, men.
All right, Martin, it's okay. Just relax.
Martin had a cardiac arrest at the wheel of his car,
I've not got a pulse at the moment.
causing him to crash into another car and a wall. It's been 2 days since he was put on a life support machine. Today, they're trying to lift his sedation.
In effect, he's just suffered a brain injury, really, having a cardiac arrest. His brain has probably been starved of oxygen. You know, there's no sort of prediction, really, that will tell us how someone will be when we try to wake them up. The CPR will save their life, and you just hope that, you know, they don't suffer brain damage.
It's not us that saves these people, it is the person that you're stood next to when this happens. If they start immediate CPR, we come and add the next level of care to that, preserving the brain function. So the shorter that we can make that gap, the better for the patient.
Martin's son-in-law Nicholas and wife Wendy have come to visit.
Hi, Dad.
Nicholas has come to see you. Not nice, is it, to see? You're going to squeeze my hand. Give it a nice big squeeze. No?
I'm praying for you. By God's grace, you are going to get better.
Nothing.
Just keep through. I know you are going to pull through. Have a nice evening, Dad. I love you.
See you then.
Martin, can you raise your hand, your right hand for me?
Martin is beginning to respond to commands.
What about your toes?
Yeah, they're going. It's raring to go, aren't you?
He's showing good signs because he's moving all his limbs, he's opening his eyes. That's all good things that we want to see.
Doctors are happy with Martin's oxygen levels and alertness. Critical care senior sister Lucy can now remove the tube.
Big cough. That's it. Right. You know where you are? In the hospital. We've had a heart attack.
His oxygen levels are okay at the moment. But yeah, so far so good.
I am very relieved. Happier now that he's had the pipe taken and he's a bit more alert, aren't you? Eh? You get stronger now, Martin, so you can come home.
Ready, steady, slide.
Stephen was en route to work when he collided with a stationary lorry.
Is the patient breathing? He's breathing, but he looks like he's in an awful lot of pain.
Travelling on his 1-month-old motorbike.
He's had pain in his leg.
So the scan's done, okay. We just have to wait now for that report to come back. A bit of a bump, I'm afraid. Ready, steady, slide.
Richard's just talking to your mum, okay?
He is in his red beanbag mattress, okay, so he can't move at all. Okay. You just want to make sure, protect him in case there is any spinal injuries, but we can never be too sure until that scan comes back. Stephen, it's just your mum and dad here, okay?
Hello. Hello, mate. How are we doing? Bit sore, bit gutted.
Yeah. The bites are right, so.
I don't think it's going to be so good.
Motorcyclists. 50 times more likely to die than car drivers. Driver or rider failing to look is one of the most common factors where motorcyclists have been involved in a fatal or serious accident with another vehicle.
What can you remember?
Well, I looked behind me to check see if anything was there, and then because I was slowing down for the lorry, and then looked in front, and then I was on the floor.
So your helmet's looked after you because it's gone underneath the load bed of that truck. So your head's gone right in there.
Every 90 seconds, someone in the UK is admitted to hospital with a brain injury. Stephen may just have escaped that fate.
He was quite worried about you though, the driver. He was watching you all the way up the road. He said he saw you and saw you, lost you, and then heard the thud.
Hello, recess.
The orthopaedic doctors are reviewing Stephen's scans.
There's a small fracture just there.
To confirm how much damage his pelvis has sustained from the crash.
Stephen, my name is Wade. This is David. We're both from the bone team. You were on a moped going behind a parked lorry.
Yes.
Where did most of the impact go?
Right there.
Okay, were you able to stand up on scene?
No.
Okay. So your pelvis is like a polo ring. So in your case, you have broken what we call your pubic rami. So pubic rami are so they are the two bones that come around the front to connect like that, and you've broken it sort of near the end at the top. Imagine that's the polo ring. If you push a force through there, it opens up.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what you have. And when I hold your pelvis and do that, any pain?
A little bit.
Can you lift this leg off the bed? Lift.
It hurts.
Can you bend your knees up?
It hurts.
Struggling.
Hurts here.
Can I bend?
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah? I'll gently, but let me know when to stop, okay? Don't like that. Okay. We could go in and do an operation.
No.
But we don't think it's needed at the moment. I think we can treat you with plenty of pain relief and try and get you to stand up. Obviously, it will be tricky at the start with all the pain and all that. But if you're really struggling to mobilize or to move, then we can reconsider that.
If Stephen is unable to mobilize soon, he may have to face his biggest fear of having surgery.
In our pelvis, we house very important vital organs, things like our gut, bladder, kidneys, and also important blood vessels. And oftentimes this can be damaged from a big pelvis injury. And if these are not sorted in time, it could lead to life-changing or death even in these patients.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yes, it could have.
It was a terrible accident.
28-year-old Jade was dog walking with her sister when she was hit by a car.
You're okay, look, you're okay. Stay with me, look at me.
Do you mind telling me what happened?
Her dog just out of nowhere just absolutely bolted. And I was like, the dog, and I ran diagonally across. A car was coming and a car hit me. I rolled onto the bonnet, smashed into the window, and then kind of went catapulting onto the floor, and I started to feel pains in my back and my shoulder, down my side, on my hip side, and my head has just been throbbing.
Do you know what speed the vehicle was moving at?
30 miles per hour.
So the road is a 30-mile-per-hour road?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 2/3 of crashes in which people are killed or injured occur on roads with a speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less. One blink and the driver may fail to see the early warning brake lights. A short glance away and the movement of a child behind a parked car will be missed.
Any vomiting since the incident?
No.
And no seizure-like episodes and all that? Alright, just going to have a quick look at your head. Just keep your head steady.
After being thrown over the bonnet at 30 miles per hour,
are you able to move this leg?
Doctors need to quickly rule out any potential serious injuries.
They just feel really heavy.
Okay. Try lifting the left leg.
They just kind of.
Can you wiggle your toes for me? Okay, that's fine. Bruising the right knee.
That's achy as well. Sorry.
That's achy.
Yeah.
And you've got a cut over your right eyebrow there. It looks like it's going to need stitching. Once I've had a look at the scan and the scan is fine, I'll probably be able to have a look at that better, okay? Head injuries is one of the priorities that we usually would look out for a patient or a pedestrian who's been hit by a vehicle. They may relatively seem okay on the outside, but that impact or the falling on the ground and bang their head can cause bleeding into the brain to even breaking their bones. Had a look at your scan, all right? And that's head, neck, tummy, chest and all, and up to pelvis area. There is no bleed, there's no break. So you haven't got any bleed in your brain. Everything seems perfectly fine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. That's brilliant.
How you haven't broke anything? I'm doing what now?
Jade has had a lucky escape to what could have been a catastrophic injury.
Just relax.
She will now need stitching before resuming normal activities.
Well, tonight I was going out. You know, you just don't know what's going to happen in a day. So here I am.
You lift this leg off the bed. Let me know when to stop, okay?
Stephen was on his way to work when he smashed into the back of a stationary lorry.
Is the patient breathing?
He's breathing, but he looks like he's in an awful lot of pain.
He has sustained a pelvic injury. If he doesn't mobilise soon, he will need surgery. The physio team have come to assess his movement.
The plan is to try and see how you get on with us.
Without surgery?
Without surgery, and see how we go. Right, we're going to have a little bend of this leg, okay? See how it feels. Just bend up with me. No, is it sore? And down. Can you dig your elbows into the bed and try and sit yourself up a little bit? That'll help. Go on, breathe. Ready?
It's not going to do any more damage than what I've done, is it?
No, it's not. Because it's not fixed, that's why you're in the pain that you're in, but the doctors have said at the minute the pros and cons of fixing it versus not, so the plan is to try and see how much pain you're in and see if we can actually manage without fixing it. Okay? Good. Breathe.
The reality of Stephen's injuries is becoming all too real.
Okay, alright. Breathe. You did well, Stephen. It's good to try. We'll try again in a minute. Can you move that leg towards it? That's it. Well done. That's it. Go on. That's it. We lie down. You want to go down? All right.
Just something to support my back.
Okay. All right then. Let's see. We did basically got the edge sit. Where is it? On me, Stephen. Point to where is it? Is it around here?
Yeah.
Or is it further down?
No, it's like there.
It's there. Okay. Okay. We'll speak to the doctors and see what else they can suggest, okay? We just tried to get Stephen up and struggled a bit with his pain relief, but he was complaining of pain on this left side here.
I need to speak to Sunit, because Sunit said this morning if he struggled, then I need to go back and talk to him about surgery, because ideally they wanted him to have surgery.
Ideally did, didn't they?
Pelvic surgeries tend to be quite big, so it is understandable that patients have concerns.
The physios have explained that you're struggling with walking, with pain, so he thinks the best thing is to have surgery tomorrow.
Stephen will now go for his surgery to help with his mobilization. Often with these trauma patients, despite surgery and after interventions, the road to recovery is long.
It's not going to hurt going over bumps, is it?
No.
Coming up.
Feel a little bit of pushing now.
Medics make a life-saving diagnosis.
We'll go into the heart.
Jade's nerves are tested.
Did you say you were giving me some like numbing stuff?
Yeah.
And will Stephen get back on his feet?
Stop. All right.
It's over a week since Martin's collapsed behind the wheel of his car, with his grandson in the back seat.
Is the patient breathing?
Hang on, we're just trying to get him out of the car. Is he breathing? We can't find the pulse.
Although awake and able to breathe for himself, Martin is still a mystery for the medics. They begin a series of urgent investigations.
Big breath in, big as you can.
To try to discover why his heart remains unstable.
The main areas that we would look at are the plumbing of the heart, so the pipes or coronary arteries that take blood into the heart. So if the heart arteries are narrowed or blocked, you get a lack of blood to part of the heart muscle, and that bit will then become abnormal.
You haven't got any tight narrowings in your heart arteries, just some very mild furring.
I think the next test will be an MRI scan to have a look at the heart in more detail.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
The MRI is very sophisticated. It allows us to work out how well the heart's working, where the damage is, and what the heart muscle is made up of. And it's probably the most important test in his case after the angiogram.
With the test done, doctors have been able to make a diagnosis.
And we can tell looking at the MRI that you've had a heart attack at some point, months or years in the past, and that has caused some scarring at the back of the heart. That area of scarring has damaged the electrical wiring in there, causing some short circuits, and that short circuit decided to switch on that day when you were driving. It's a bit of a detective work trying to get all the clues together, but we cannot guarantee that that won't happen again, and that's why implanting a special pacemaker, we call it an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, and it's very clever because it will watch your heart rhythm and it will identify the bad rhythms come on. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. When I think of putting the kids in the car though, even with a pacemaker, no, I don't think I'll be doing that. But it's great that they've got the medication as a backup, the pacemaker, you know. Couldn't be better really, could it? I can't wait to get it fitted really.
Four days ago, Stephen crashed his motorcycle into a static lorry,
Go and breathe.
fracturing his pelvis.
Ow! Stop!
Struggling to mobilize. Medics operated on him. Today, he is attempting to walk for the first time.
Just try and bend that knee if you can.
Good.
Aim to start coming across the edge of the bed.
Not yet.
We need to give it a try.
Not yet.
Okay.
It hurts.
It's going to hurt, Stephen. The first time up is the worst time. Try and come up on those elbows again, lift your chin forward, and then just see if we can get you sat up a little bit more.
So you can take your arms down into the bed, okay? Ready.
That's it, well done.
Steady.
Ow. Stop. Alright. I understand you are in pain, but we need to get on top of it so we can move. But actually, once you've done it, it's not as bad as you think.
Ready?
Martin is one of 30,000 people each year in the UK who has had out-of-hospital cardiac arrest.
Do you mind if I charge the defib?
2 weeks ago, when his heart stopped, the critical care team shocked him back to life with an external defibrillator. Today, he is having his own internal defibrillator implanted.
The key steps of this procedure is to gain, as we say, vascular access. So we are going to place 2 leads into the heart. There's a risk of us damaging the heart, the lungs, the blood vessels, so we have to be careful when we're placing these leads. You ready for a needle? Sharp scratch coming up in a second.
Over the last 10 to 20 years, the procedure has become more and more minimal invasive, but there's always a risk of dying as part of the procedure.
More gauze, please.
The advancement in medical technology means the implantation of the internal defibrillator doesn't require open heart surgery.
Feel a little bit of pushing now.
Patients can now be treated under local anesthetic. The defibrillator, the size and weight of a small pack of playing cards, will be permanently wired under Martin's chest wall and connected to his heart.
It will sit just on top of your breast muscles.
It contains a battery-powered, computerized electronic device that lasts for 10 years.
We have got an X-ray camera that moves around the patient and allows us to basically look into the patient. But we need to know exactly where the tip of the lead is in order for it to hook onto the heart muscle.
What you will see is that there is a flashback of blood coming into the syringe, and the tricky part is now to find exactly the place where the vein is. So sometimes it's tricky to locate it, especially when the veins are small.
The vein gives access to the blood vessel, where thin wires can be attached to the defibrillator and to the heart.
So the wire is going into the vein now. Just follow it through to the heart, please. Into the right place, so we'll see whether we can get the second one in. Okay, so the second one is going in. So each of these anchoring wires will then be used to place the cables into the heart. Okay, so this is the defibrillator cable that will go into the heart. Okay, that's fine. Happy with this? Yeah. What we'll do is we'll place the leads now into the defibrillator. And in it goes. So the defibrillator is in the pocket now, so we'll just double check whether everything's in the right place. There it is.
You can link up the defibrillator to your mobile phone, you can send data through the mobile phone to the hospital, and that interaction gives some patients reassurance over and control over their own health.
It went okay. The final kind of outcome result was very good.
Martin will be monitored for a few days before he can be discharged. Whilst recovering on the ward, Martin has had time to reflect. His neighbour who found him 2 weeks ago posted her take on social media.
Woke this morning to loud bang. The police told me and Ben if we hadn't acted as we did, car could have exploded and the gentleman would definitely have passed. You'd call it a remarkable chain of events, really, wouldn't you? And here I am still breathing.
28-year-old Jade was dog walking with her sister when she was hit by a car.
You're okay, look, you're okay. Stay with me, look at me.
She sustained extensive bruising and a head injury.
Okay. Can I bring it in?
Stitching it now?
Yeah, now. Can I bring this some more?
Your hand.
I'm going to put this under here.
With the intricate stitching close to the eye, Jade is feeling nervous.
Did you say you were giving me some like numbing stuff?
Yeah.
It's important for her to stay still to avoid further damage to her eye.
Don't be nervous, just relax.
So this is going to sting. Try not to move, okay? Are you ready? Just relax.
Stings. Woo.
Gonna give you this injection. It's just to numb it off, okay? You ready? All right, let's go. All right, good job. Try not to move.
Sorry.
All right.
So tense.
With her stitches in place, Jade can go home to recover.
Okay. So I'll say she's lucky to have got enough, and good enough. We're happy that she's stable enough to go home.
No,
so that's all.
Go. Yeah.
I'm really lucky. I'm truly grateful for all the treatment and all the support. And yeah, I just can't wait to go home.
7 days since his accident, Stephen is attempting to walk again.
I kind of want to try walking for a bit.
That's what I mean. That's what we would like to do as well.
I'll be on your back.
Ready? Should we just swing you round? That's it.
That's it. Well done, you.
Push yourself forward. Feet are on the floor. Right.
Really hot again.
Really hot. If we walk, you can get out of this bay.
What do you mean?
You can walk out the bay. It might be a bit cooler out the bay.
Oh, wow, okay.
Good stand.
I didn't expect you to do that. Well done. Got a challenge for you. Oh, wow, okay. Well done.
They said if I can walk, they'll let me go home. So it's just that one step closer to being let out. So.
Next day, Stephen is discharged with hopes of getting back on the bike.
Oh no.
New A&E Crash Scene Emergency is back next Monday at 9, and if you or someone you know has been affected by what you've seen tonight, organisations offering support can be found at channel5.com/helplines. Here's a hot topic: the humble oven. Is it just too slow and costly? Brand new this Wednesday at 8, air fryers. Do you know what you're missing? Next, Police Hour of Duty.